Alright, it's 7:30 Mountain Time. We're going for a jet boat ride. We're going north on Main Street in Moab, Utah. We're at 17.8 miles. It was day 14 of the trip, and we had arrived the evening before in Moab, with enough time for dinner and hitting a couple of souvenir stores. Our original plan was to hit Canyonlands and Arches, but Joe was reading some Moab propaganda, and between the Red Rock Jeep tour and a jet boat ride down the Colorado River, we decided on the river tour. This is part 1 of 3 of the shorter edited version of the tour. Much of the travel on the river between stops was eliminated, so if you want to see the river, watch the other version. It started at the downriver side of US 191 and took you 32 river miles down the river to Canyonlands National Park, with an off-boat stop in Dead Horse Point State Park. This segment takes you from US 191 in Moab to the Jughandle Arch stop. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content. It'd really help the channel. The jet boats may be a little noisy, but once at speed it made for a very stable platform. When the guide is talking, he may be missing his head at times. We were in the front of the boat, and I didn't want to stick the camcorder in his face, so I have the camcorder in my lap and I'm just pointing it at him.
Boat does sink, don't worry about the life jackets, just stand up and walk out. Because that's about how deep the river is right now. So, don't embarrass yourself. Just stand up, don't flop around, okay? Just a couple other quick rules. One is just stay seated as much as you can, especially while we're traveling fast. While we're floating like this, you're more than welcome to stand up, stretch, do whatever you want. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want anybody to fall out of the boat. Okay, because I do need to make a few turns as we're going downstream. So if you need to stand up to take a picture, that's fine with me. Just make sure you hold on, okay? So if I have to turn, you don't go out the boat, okay? Because it slows down the tour. We have to turn around and come back and pick you up. Or just wave at us. That means you want us to pick you up on the way back or on the way, whatever comes first. So okay. Just be careful. And then not only that, it's a lot of paperwork for me. So I've never had it happen, but I've heard it's a lot of paperwork. So please just stay in the boat. Okay. And then third is there is no smoking on this boat. Okay. Anytime that you're off my boat, you're more than welcome to smoke. And there'll be a couple places downstream where you can do that if you need to. I do have water for you guys on the boat. I have cups in the back. Just ask me. I'll be more than glad to get you a cup of water. If you have your own water bottle, you're more than welcome to fill up here if you need to. Then if you want something a little bit stronger, back here in the cooler, there is some Diet Pepsi, lemonade for you, or Sprite or something, okay? So feel free to help yourself to that, or ask me. I'll be more than glad to give you whatever you want. Also in that cooler, there's some cookies, so if you need a munchie, there you go, okay? Or ask me, I'll be more than glad to get you whatever you'd like. I got up extra early this morning to bake those cookies, so I hope you guys enjoy them, yeah. Then I went to a lot of extra work because I individually wrapped them and marked Nabisco on them for you. Okay?
We fell off the turnip truck on the way here.
All right, we'll get going here. Anyways, what we're going to do this morning is we're going to head downstream a little over 32 miles, and then we'll be coming back a little over 32 miles. It's a good thing you're awake.
Okay, it's a good thing we have round trip tickets.
It's a good thing you have round trip tickets, yeah. Well, we'll negotiate the price when we get down there and make sure you have a... But as we go down those 32 miles, we'll be making several stops as we go down. Then on the way back, it's just going to be pretty much a basic jet boat ride straight back to the office. As we go down, I'll explain to you where the restrooms are, where the restrooms aren't, so you guys can space out your time. Okay? All right. Any questions before we get going? This is gonna be. You guys awake?
Give me a little while.
Make sure you guys and ladies hold on to your hats, okay? I don't want you to lose your hats. If the wind gets too much for you back here in the back, move up here, okay? And then you won't have as much wind. You can notice there's a few extra blankets, so if you need one, go ahead and grab one. All right, we ready to go?
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
let's do it.
These cup holders.
Well, everybody doing okay? Yeah. He's got your shorts on. Make me look warm there. Geez, oh. You look right up here on top of this cliff right here. This is what we call Poison Spider Arch. I usually try and make it sound scary. No, it's not because we have poisonous spiders. It's because if you were to get in an airplane and fly over this section right here, this is what we call the Poison Spider Mesa. It's actually, when you get up on top of it, it actually looks like a body of a spider with its legs coming off. So, and this is one of the legs right here, all the way down. So, it's pretty neat to fly over it and see that. But that's why it's called Poison Spider, and that's why you'll see like Poison Spider Bike Shop in town and those other companies and stuff that have that name. So, anyways, there is a hiking trail if you want to hike up to that arch.
Right.
It starts right over here just above the trees. Goes up around that shelf out there in front of us, goes around that corner where you can't see it anymore, and then it comes right back up on top of there. Or you can hike it like I normally hike it, and that's, I have my friends drive me up on top in their four-wheel drive vehicle, and I get on top and walk down that trail. I've done that several times, you know, it's much easier than going up that trail. But the mountain bikers have also tried to turn those two trails into mountain biking trails. The four-wheel drive trail's okay. But the problem is occasionally when they get out here to this arch, they actually ride their bikes across the top of that arch. So if you guys want to try that, you're more than welcome to. I don't recommend it. And the reason why I say that is just it's very narrow. And usually the wind is blowing twice as hard up there as it is down here anyways. But to give you an idea how wide that arch is, it's about as wide as this boat, but it rounds off on the top. So, but if you want to try it, you can. Yeah, I'll just give you a little hint. Just make sure you fall off on this side, because then you don't feel anything. It's over real quick. Yeah. Not only that, they pick you up for free. You don't have to pay. Yeah. Yeah. They scoop you up in a bucket. That's what they do. Also, that hiking trail, they've tried to turn it into a mountain biking trail, but it's really not designed for mountain bikes. Usually we have at least 1 or 2 people that die on that trail every year on mountain bikes. So, yeah, we don't recommend that trail, us locals. Get my brain working here. If you look over here on this other side of the river, can you see those 2 telephone poles side by side up there, just above the trees there? If you kind of look in between them, or more towards the left pole there, you can actually see black on the rock. It almost looks like an asphalt road over there. You can actually follow that trail all the way up that shelf over there. That's a four-wheel drive trail. And that's not asphalt, that's rubber from the Jeep tires going up that trail. And after we have a heavy rainstorm, if we ever get some rain, it just washes right off of there. And we did have some good rain last, was it 2 weeks ago or a week ago or something like that? And we had some good rain, but I think it was like a 1/4 inch. It was a lot. Yeah, we just about got drowned here, you know, so, yeah. But anyways, to give you an idea, it takes the Jeeps about an hour to an hour and a half to get from where these poles are to just up around the corner there. So it's a very slow moving process. Usually you can walk that 2 or 3 times before they get up to the top. And there is some people that make that look like an asphalt road. They just drive right up it. It's like it's nothing there, you know. Well, anyways, where's everybody from? You guys are from
Northern Utah.
Northern Utah.
Long way.
Where's that?
There's nothing up here.
We don't get anybody from Utah.
Actually,
That's
from Virginia and he's from California.
all right. Yeah. Well, see that. That's why they're visiting. The Utahns really don't visit us. You know?
We're from Chicago.
Chicago. All
Yep.
right.
Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver, Canada.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Holland.
Holland. All right.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Well, it's nice to have you guys here. You guys traveled a long way. These people from Holland, you know, they have nothing compared to you. Yeah. Utah. We just, I mean, we maybe get, yeah, we only get like 3 people a year that, you know, that come from Utah. But that's good to have you. And, we're glad. But we only get 2% of our visitors come from Utah, so we don't really get very many people that come visit us. They all go down to the other southern part of Utah, so they can jump the border and go to Las Vegas. No, they don't do that. No. There's a great blue heron right there on that island. You see lots of those as we go downstream today. You guys all been out to Arches?
No.
Not yet. Some of you have, some of you haven't. Well, out in Arches we have a place called Park Avenue. Did you guys see it out there? Yeah. Well,
Yep.
when you go out there, you'll see it. This wall that you see downriver here that's all lit up with the sun right now, that is what we call Wall Street. We have a park down here in Wall Street. But anything that you guys have in your state or country, we have it here. It's just a little different. We can't be outdone here. Yeah, but this is, I don't know how the stocks are doing today, but anyways, this wall that you see downriver here, this is a famous place for the rock climbers. They rock climb all the way along this wall. Every crack and every niche down here, they rock climb. Most of them only go about 1/4 of the way up the wall, though. If you see that horizontal crack that goes along about 1/4 of the way up the wall, that's about as high as they go, so you don't need to look up any higher than that. There is some that go to the top, but it's usually very few. And the reason why they stay right below that line is because the sandstone starts to get really soft. And also that's about as high as their ropes will let them go, you know, without belaying another person up there. So most of them stay right at that level, but those that do climb up to the top, I think, are the more towards the real professionals, because they really have to know what they're doing the higher they go up, because that sandstone's so soft. You guys rock climb?
Well, I have.
Yeah. Well, anybody else? Well, those people that do go to the top, well, they're just up here looking at me like, what are you talking about, buddy? You know? Like, hey, you know, I just...
And we were mountain biking yesterday, but no rush.
Yeah. Did you get any? That's the Moab souvenir. You need to go get some road rash. That's, you know. Anyways, those that do climb up to the top, they actually strap a basket to their back, and they climb a little over halfway, and then they take that basket off and anchor it with their ropes, and then they sleep in that basket overnight, and then get up the next morning and climb the rest of the way up. Yeah, they like to sleep with the birds, I guess. I've never figured it out. I did have a guy last week, though, that said, I don't know, that doesn't sound like a sport for me, Rory, because I have a tendency of sleepwalking. Well, it probably wouldn't be a good combination for you then. But we also have a base jumping competition off the top of that cliff every year. Do you guys know what base jumping is? That's crazy. That's where people run off these cliffs with parachutes. Takes them 18 seconds to get from the top of that cliff down to the road that's over here. We'll be following a road for just a little while. You might have just heard a car go by, or a truck. I don't know what it was, but yeah, we'll be following that for just a little bit, and I'll explain to you about that at our next stop, where it goes to, where it ends. So you'll know all about that road.
We took that road.
And so
We took that
it's
road.
pretty fun to watch them because they're kind of crazy because they sit up there on top of that cliff and they'll actually sit and you can tell what they're doing. They're looking for cars coming. And then they run off of there and the first person gets down there. Then he yells or she yells up to the next one, go ahead. And then the next one comes off of there. Yeah. I almost don't like watching it because I'm afraid that their chute isn't going to open, you know. But if it doesn't, it's much faster that way. Yeah. I don't know why they do it, because I mean you can go down around in 15 minutes, you know. I mean, it's like you're saving too much time jumping off of there. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, when they jump down, how do they get up in the first place?
Well,
don't
they
drive
actually
up there.
take that four-wheel drive road. There is a
there is?
four-wheel drive trail that takes you up on top of here. Yeah, you can be up there pretty quick. About 15, 20 minutes you can drive up there in a car, or feet, you know. Not a car, a Jeep, you know.
See us all trying.
Yeah. Well, you can do it long as you have a rental car. Because rental cars go anywhere. You don't have to worry about it, yeah. Oh, gosh. I better go to the back. Is everybody doing okay? Yeah. All right. Well, this time we're going to travel quite a little ways, so... warm up rink now.
Look at you uniting the fans.
Yeah. You look right up here, you'll see Jughandle Arch coming off of the edge.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you guys can figure out why they call it Jughandle Arch. I don't need to explain that to you, but there's a lot of people that rock climb up over the face of that. There is some people that actually get inside of that and they put their hands on one side and their feet on the other and walk up as far as they can. Yeah, that's another sport that I like to watch. It's quality entertainment, I tell you. Yeah. There is a four-wheel drive road that goes up this canyon over here. You can't see the road from here, but it's just over that little lip right there. It goes up towards Dead Horse Point State Park. It's what we call Long Canyon. It used to be called Pucker's Pass, but then they came through and graded some of it, so they took the pucker out of the pass. So now it's called Long Canyon, and why it's called Long Canyon, I don't know, because it's not very long. So the guy that graded it must have been named Long, because it's not very long. But up that canyon, that's where they filmed the movie City Slickers 2 with Billy Crystal was filmed out there. And you guys can easily do that trail if you have a high clearance vehicle with some four-wheel drive. Or a rental car, like I said, you know. It's easy trail, yeah. In a rental car you can do it, yeah. No, don't recommend it. But if you look downstream now, you can see a building that just came into view. And that big tall building there with the green roof and the tan stripe coming down it, that is the elevator shaft for this mine. This is actually where we mine potassium chloride. This is what we call the potash mine. By the way, that is the tallest building in the Moab area. So that's our skyscraper. So I want a picture of it. I just thought you guys would want to know that. But that is a, what they do is they used to send miners down inside that shaft to mine that salt until somewhere in the 80s they had an accident down in there and it killed some people. So now what they do is they do solution mining. Have any of you been out to Dead Horse Point State Park? A few of you. You seen those big blue ponds out in the middle of the desert? Yeah. Well, the rest of you, if you go out to Dead Horse Point, you look off the cliff, you'll see these big blue ponds. You'll see what we're talking about. But what they do is they pump water now from the river down inside that shaft. They slurry that water up down there with that mineral. Then they pump the water out into these big blue ponds. And they add a blue dye to the water. That's what makes it look so blue as they pump it out there. Well, when it pumps it out there, then that water sits out there. But that blue dye helps speed up the evaporation process. The water evaporates and leaves the salts and minerals behind, and then they go in with tractors and pick it up and bring it down here to the plant. And that's where they process it, and then it gets shipped out by truck or by railroad. You might have noticed we joined a set of railroad tracks just back upstream here. That train comes every Friday. Those tracks are still used. But you got a few days, you gotta wait until you see the train. Because you'll notice here if you're in town on Friday, because the whole town shuts down and we all run out to the tracks to watch the train go by. Yeah, it's a big train. I think it's like 2 engines and a couple cars, you know. It's a pretty big event for us, besides the mountain bikers. You know, that's our only entertainment. But yeah, we set our clocks by that actually, yeah. Some days they throw a curveball at us and they come on Tuesdays though, so just never know. But anyways, this plant doesn't hire very many people, and by the way, potash is mostly used for fertilizer, and it's also, we use it on our roads in the wintertime in this southern part of Utah. Instead of using sodium chloride like they do up in Salt Lake, we use potassium chloride to help rot our cars on the road. I mean, to melt the ice off the roads. Thinking.
Is there wild turkey out here?
Wild turkey, yes. We have the Rios.
This is the end of part 1. There are 2 more parts. Subscribe if you haven't. It'd really help the channel.